Bring in a prop so that the knees are lower than the pelvis. Very good. Imagine your feet plugging down into the earth. And from that foundation, lengthening through the spine, drawing energy from the earth, lifting it through the crown of the head. I invite you to close your eyes, create a soft gaze at a certain point, around a point. Open with a Hari Om chant followed by 3 ohms followed by a Hari Om chant. Inhale. Om. Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om.
Hari Hari Om.
Hari Hari Om.
Say a few words as you sit centered. Remember that you are pure spirit. The part of you that knows you're alive, that very consciousness. This is what yoga offers to us to remember. Take a moment to bask in this consciousness. As we begin moving, you can hold this awareness with you as you're moving and breathing. When you remember that you are pure spirit, there is no others. There's no difference. Please open your eyes for Netra Vyayamam. Remove your glasses for this portion of the practice. Keeping the body and the head still. Lift the eyes up to the highest point of your periphery, stretching the eyes upwards. Mindfully and slowly shift the eyes to the lowest point of your periphery, keeping the head still. Bring the eyes to the center. Mindfully shift the eyes to the right. Tracing a horizontal line, shift the eyes to the left. Make sure the head stays still. Bring the eyes to the center. Now lift the eyes to the upper right corner. Upper right corner. Lower left. Bring the eyes back to center. Upper left corner. Lower right. Bring the eyes back to center and close. Soften any parts of the body that may have been recruited from the eye movement. And now lift the eyes back up towards the ceiling. And with a sweeping motion, shift the eyes to the right, tracing the outer circular periphery. Go slow so you can smooth out any areas that tend to skip or jump. Once you get back to the top, reverse direction, going just as slow, maybe even slower. Remember to soften in the shoulders, or perhaps the jaw may have tensed up. Release that. Once you've completed the second round, close the eyes, settle back into the seat, and rub the hands together, generating heat. Either pressing the palms firmly to really encourage the heat, or breathing into the hands. And once it's sufficiently warm, cup the warmest part of the hands over the eyes. Keep the head lifted and the shoulders softening down. Take a moment again here to remember who we really are. Once the heat has dissipated, gently stroke the eyelids with the tips of your finger. Use this time also to massage the muscles in the face, around the jaw, perhaps tugging at the eyebrows or tugging at the edge of the ears, massaging the neck and the shoulders. Once you feel satisfied, come onto the hands and knees to a tabletop position. And begin cat and cow, warming up the spine. Pay attention to the way the pelvis moves in cat and cow. So in cow, the sit bones or the tailbones roll up towards the ceiling. And the front of the body curves down towards the floor. And in cat, the sit bones or the tailbone rounds down towards the floor, and the body rounds into, you can think about a cave. You can even draw the chin towards the chest to open the back of the neck. Having communion with the body. So you're sending a message telling the body what to do, and the body sends you feedback, letting you know how it feels today. Let's return to neutral spine. Sit towards the heels into child's pose. Press the hands open. So activate the whole hand. Stretch between the fingers. Look forward and slide the chest forward until the pelvis is flat on the floor. Curl the upper spine up into cobra. Lengthen in the side of the neck. Push up on all fours. Sink back into child's pose again. Look forward, slide forward into cobra once again. As best as you can, keeping the chest as low to the floor. Good. Push up on all fours. Sink back into child's pose. One more time. Scoop forward, slide forward into cobra. Good. In cobra, turn the head or point the chin to the left shoulder. Roll the shoulders back and down, stretching one side of the neck. And then turn the head to the other side. And return to center, push up on all fours, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Feel free to move about in down dog here, pedaling the heels, shifting the hips side to side to perhaps encourage the side body to open. You can even stretch the one leg at a time, up and back. Good. Remember to keep the hands open and active, stretching from the fingers stretching away from the center of the hand and the perimeter of the palm pressing into the floor. You can switch sides if you haven't already. Good. And lower the knees, tuck the toes under and sit on the heels. And shift side to side, stretching the underside of your toes. Good. Come up to tabletop again, downward facing dog. This time, step the right foot forward next to the right thumb. Lower the left knee. I'm going to be here for about 20 seconds, moving about in any way that the body craves. You can shift forward and back. You can wiggle the hips side to side, whatever feels right for you this morning. Alicia, step the front foot forward a little bit more so the knee is right above the ankle. Good. Plant the hands, step back into down dog again. And let's switch side, left foot forward. And just moving about, stretching, be dynamic, waking up this side of the body. Okay, plant the hands forward, step to the top of the mat. So fold forward. And here, give a cow tilt in the pelvis. You can keep the knees bent, but again, rolling the sit bones towards the ceiling, like in cow. Place the hands on your waist, look forward, and rise up to stand. Extend the arms overhead, grounding down through the feet evenly, and reaching up through the fingers. Release the hands to prayer, recenter. Let's bring the hands behind the head here, interlace the fingers behind the head, and open the elbows wide. Lower the shoulders away from the ears, and start lifting the heart towards the ceiling, creating an arch in the upper back. Hold the abdomen strong so you don't collapse in the lower back. And as you're curling up, notice that the shoulders want to roll forward or roll up. Resist that movement by keeping the shoulder blades low and together. Just notice how that feels. What is the body urging to do? Release that back bend, return to hands in prayer. Let's go through sun salutations. Exhale here. Inhale, extend the arms forward, reaching up. Create that back bend. Hinge forward, plant the hands. Left leg steps back. You may lower the left knee if you like, or keep it lifted. Gazing forward. See if you can broaden the collarbones wide. Plant the hands, step back, down dog. Hips up and back. Stretching from the center of the palm to the armpits. And from the armpits to the hips. And from the hips towards the heels. Good. Shift forward into plank. And in plank, infuse the whole body with that effort from the heels to the top of the head. From the shoulders to the palms. And everywhere in between, even in the eyes. Gazes forward and lower the knees, chest and chin, keeping the pelvis raised. And then slide forward to lower the pelvis and arch the upper back into our cobra once again. Release cobra, push up on all fours or back to plank, hinge back, downward facing dog. Now step the left foot forward next to the left thumb or guide the left foot forward. Lower the right knee or keep it raised. Whatever you did on the other side, do the same on this side. Step forward to the top of the mat, fold forward. And rise up to stand with arms overhead, heart shining upwards, legs sturdy. And return hands in prayer. Recenter. Round 2, exhale here. Hands in prayer. Inhale, extend the arms forward, reaching up and back, slight back bend. Hinge forward, plant the hands. Right leg steps back. And if it's doable, keep that right knee off the floor. If balance is an issue, widen the stance so the feet is closer to the edge of the mat. Plant the hand, step back, down dog. Shift the weight forward into plank, knees, chest, and chin. And scoot forward into cobra. And now release cobra, turn the head to one side. And this time, place the hands outside the mat so the arms are wide. Arms are nice and wide. And then curl up into cobra again, just the belly is on the floor. From the rib cage up is curling away from the floor. Turn the chin towards the left shoulder. Dip the right shoulder towards the floor. Lift the right shoulder up. Return the head to center. Let's move to the other side. Point the chin towards the right shoulder. And roll the left shoulder towards the floor. Lift the shoulder up. Come back to center. Return the hands close to the body. Push up on all fours or plank. Hinge back, downward facing dog. And stepping the right foot forward. You may lower the left knee first to assist that right foot. But if you can, lift that left knee off the floor. Again, if balance is an issue, step the feet wider apart horizontally. Yep. Yes, good adjustment, Omar. Release the hands down to the floor, step to the top of the mat, fold forward. You can really focus in that cow tilt in the pelvis as you fold forward, feeling the hamstrings wake up. And on inhale, roll up to standing, stretching vertically through the whole body. And return to hands in prayer or Tadasana. Recenter. Go through a third round with some variations. Exhale here. Inhale, extend the arms forward, reaching up. Arms overhead. Feet are grounded. Stretch the torso up and tilt to the right, opening the left side body. Return to center and tilt to the other direction. Return to center and plant the hands down to the floor. Left leg steps back. Widen the stance again if balance is an issue. If you can keep the left knee off the floor, otherwise keep the left knee on the floor. Lift the torso up. Place the hands on the lower back. And use the hands to assist the pelvis to lower forward. See if you can bring the elbows towards each other. Good. Bring the hands together in front of you in prayer. Lengthen through the torso, tilt forward slightly, and rotate to the right. If you can, hook the left elbow onto the right knee, or you can place the left hand onto the floor and reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Release the hands down, framing the front foot. Step back, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Good. Lower the knees, coming back into tabletop. I'm going to go into a modified upward facing dog. So from here, lower the pelvis towards the thumbs. Lower the pelvis towards the thumbs, keeping the torso off the floor. Good. Keep the shoulders low and the heart shining forward. You can stay here or tuck the toes under and lift the knees off the floor. So just the hands and the toes are making contact with the floor. Make sure you're not locking the elbows out. Continue to shine the heart forward. Good. Lower the knees down. Come back to tabletop. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog again. Good. Now step the left foot forward. Right knee up or down, depending on what you did in the other side. Lift the torso up. Place the hands on the lower back. And use the hands to guide the hips forward and down. And roll the elbows towards each other. As you do, make sure the lower back isn't collapsed, so draw the abdomen in. And we don't want to collapse in the lower back. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Lengthen to the torso, lean forward slightly, and rotate the torso to the left, hooking the right elbow to the left knee, or placing the right hand right next to the left foot and extending the left arm towards the ceiling. Legs are still strong, even in the twist. Release both hands down to the floor, step forward to the top of the mat, and rise up to stand. Return to hands in prayer or Tadasana. Again, recenter. remembering who we really are. Let's do a series of, well, just 2 balancing postures. So establish Tadasana, feeling grounded and lifted at the same time. Shift the weight onto the left foot and place the right foot onto the left into a tree pose. Hands in prayer. Holding for 15 seconds here. If you come down, come back up. Good. Now open the hands out into a goddess arms. Palms face forward. And from here, see if you can lift the right knee towards the right elbow. Foot is flexed. And release the right foot down, release the hands to the side. Back to mountain. Other side, shift the weight onto the right foot. Vrikshasana on the other side, hands in prayer. 15 seconds. Open the hands out. You can lift the left knee towards the left elbow, left foot is flexed. And lower down. Come into Tadasana. Let's lay on the mat onto our bellies here. Turn the head to one side. Advasana, resting on the abdomen. And as you do, really rest. Any residual gripping or tension, deposit it to the floor, deposit it to the ground. Turn the head. Let's come into Dhanurasana or set up for Dhanurasana. Bending the knees and reaching back for your feet or ankles. If you can't reach your feet or ankles, keep them straight and keep the arms straight. And you're just lifting the hands and the arms straight. Okay, forehead on the floor. Before we come up, press the pelvis a little bit onto the floor so the legs are stretched back. And balance on the abdomen. When you're ready, press the feet into the hands, lift the legs and the upper body off the floor. Gaze is forward. Reach up just slightly and gently release. Come back down onto the floor. Release the legs, turn the head to one side. Let's come up on all fours and sit on our heels. If you have blocks, that might be helpful to place on either side of you. If not, that's okay. You can place the hands on the floor, on the fingertips on the floor. So from here, let's roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Take a moment to connect with the shoulder blades coming together behind you and pressing forward to the front of the body. Come sideways here. You can keep the chin low or lift the chin towards the ceiling as long as the neck doesn't feel strained. And release that back bend. Lean forward, place the elbows onto the floor. We're going to come into dolphin here, so you can interlace the fingers. Lift the hips up, tuck the toes under. And when you're ready, lift the hips up, lift the knees off the floor. See if you can reach the heels towards the floor. Push up from the forearms. Lower the knees down. Come back up to sit on the heels. Find your blocks if you have them. Place the hands on the block. Same thing. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Bringing the shoulder blades together and pressing the heart forward. And this time, if you can, lift the pelvis away from the hips. Putting more pressure into the hands. Keep the chin low if the neck is straining, or lift the chin up to stretch the neck. Release the hips back down towards the heels. We'll come into dolphin once again. Coming up onto the forearms, tuck the toes under, lift the knees and the hips up. And if you like, you can walk the feet closer towards the elbows. Broaden the collarbones, even in dolphin. Lower the knees. This is our last round, sitting on the heels. Find your blocks. Arch in the upper back. Lift the pelvis forward and up. Point the tailbone towards the knees. And lower the hips back down. One more in dolphin. Forearms down. Tuck the toes under. Lifting up. Press up from the forearms. Good. And lower the knees. Find child's pose and rest. That was good, Alicia. That was a good idea. Let's come up to sit. Bring the legs out in front of you. Let's draw the left knee in and roll it out to the side. Lift the flesh out from under your feet. Make sure the pelvis or the pelvis is tilted forward. And so if you're rounding in the lower back, bring the cushion in here. So let's lift the arms overhead, lengthening through the torso. And when you're ready, hinge forward over the right leg. Once the body gives you the signal to stop, release the hands around the ankle or the feet, but keep the shoulders and the arms relaxed. 20 seconds here. With each exhale, allow the body to sink and soften, but keep the legs and the feet active, toes pointing up, or right toes. Look forward. On inhale, hinge upwards. And release the hands to the side. I want to add a variation here. So that right foot is directly in front of us. Let's slide it out to the right just slightly, maybe about 15 degrees. And place the hands on either side of the right leg and turn the torso so you're centered or facing the foot. Lengthen through the spine and either walk the hands forward or reach the arms overhead and hinge forward over the right leg. See if you can center the body over the right leg. So Omar, lower I believe that's your left shoulder. Because you're slightly tilted upward, see if you can lower the left shoulder and lift the right shoulder up. Yeah, good. And let's hinge back up to seated. Release the hands to the side. Let's switch sides. Draw the right knee in. Extend the left foot directly in front of you at first. Adjust the sit bones. Good. When you're ready, extend the arms overhead. Lengthen and hinge forward. And legs stay active, torso softens. Inhale, hinge back up to seated. Release the hands to the side and open the left leg slightly out to the left. Again, we're going to twist to face the left foot. Either extend the arms over or keep the hands on the floor. On exhale, either walk the hands forward or hinge the torso forward. And you can bend the knees if the lower back is arching, or if there's too much pull in the back of the knees. Inhale, lift back up to seated. Release the hands to the floor. And let's lower down onto the mat. Brief Shavasana to let the body return to balance. So I'll place the feet on the mat, knees are bent. And get the heels as close to the buttocks. Feet are hip width apart, so they're not together. I'm going to set up for bridge. Okay, you can keep the arms alongside the body, or you can bend the elbows at a 90 degrees, using the back of the arms to help you up. So when you're ready, press into the feet evenly to lift the pelvis off the buttocks off the floor. Keep the pressure in the feet even. Make sure the toes aren't lifting up or the heels are lifting up. Stop where the body tells you where to stop, but keep the pressure on the feet even. Roll the chest towards the chin here. And very slowly roll down from the top of the spine down to the pelvis. You can lift the heels up to round the pelvis down. Good. I'm going to come into our inversion practice here. I'm going to instruct shoulder stand, Sarvangasana. If this is not, if the body is not into it today, then you can lift the legs up the wall or up against the couch. I think the other teachers have gone over the contraindications. I see some folks setting up some blankets. Very good. All right. Hands alongside the body, palms face down. Lift the legs up towards the ceiling. When you're ready, swing the legs over the face. Catch the lower back with the hands. And before you lift the legs up towards the ceiling, make sure that you're stable, the elbows are in place, the hands are in place. And then when you feel sturdy, now lift the legs towards the ceiling. Good. Omar, place the hands on the lower back. Good, that's your support. And now you can lift the legs up. We'll hold here for another minute in our inversion. If you like, find a focal point. Practicing Tadak, focusing the eyes in a particular point. If the eyes wander, return to that point. 30 more seconds. Holding the posture between effort and surrender. Let's all come out from the inversion, bringing the knees towards the forehead. Extend the legs down towards the floor. Release the hands onto the floor, using the hands as brakes. Roll the back, the spine back onto the floor. If you like, you can slowly bring the legs down onto the mat, activating the abdomen. And now rest briefly in Shavasana before we come into Matsyasana. Okay, let's come into Matsyasana. Bring the legs together. Place the hands around the thighs. Come up onto the elbows, lifting the torso halfway up. Begin arching the pelvis forward, mid-back, upper chest. Lift the chin so the crown of the head is landed on the floor. Breathing between the rib cage. Fifteen more seconds. On inhale, bring the chin towards the chest and slowly roll the body back down from the buttocks to the head. Brief Shavasana to let the body return to balance. Right away, any tension or gripping that's residual effort, send a mental message to release. Roll over to one side and come up to seated for Yoga Mudra. As you're coming up, you can add a bit of a twist here if the body needs it from the seated position. If you haven't switched sides, switch to the other side. Good. Now let's prepare. Find the hands behind you. Feel the ground underneath you and feel a spine tall. I invite you to close the eyes, to tune in, and again, remember, when you're ready, on exhale, hinge forward, facing the forehead on the floor, the head on the floor or a block. If the floor is too far away, bring the chin towards the chest, round in, bowing to yourself. And the hands are relaxed behind you. Just enough effort to hold the shape, but nothing more. Oh. Gently float up to seated. Release the hands on your lap. Take a moment here. With a sense of reverence, prepare for Yoga Nidra. So even putting on socks, hold reverence in putting on socks or sweaters. With every measure so that you can be comfortable laying on the floor in Shavasana. Eye pillows, rolled up blanket behind the knees perhaps. Pillow under the head if the neck strains. We'll do one round of tense and release to squeeze out any remaining tension here. So stretch the arms and the legs away from the torso. Stretch it out. Hands are splayed. Take a deep breath into the belly. Deep breath into the chest and hold. Squeeze the hands into a fist. Lift the arms and the legs off the floor. Squeeze the face, buttocks. Squeeze, hold, and release. Drop. Any last minute adjustments so that you can commit to stillness. And now tune in. Scanning the body for residual gripping, residual tension. Between the toes and the back of the knee, the hip crease and the sacrum. Soften, melting towards the floor. Between the fingers and the center of the hands, elbows and the armpits, soften down. Abdomen, lower back, mid and upper back, relax. Allow the heart and the lungs to rest against the floor. Soften in the throat, soften the tongue, the sides of the mouth, top of the lip, cheeks, eyebrows, forehead. Soften. Release the tension. Tune into your breath. The way it enters and leaves the body. Without controlling or changing, just observe the breath as it is. Any thoughts that arise, dissolve it in the breath. See if you can journey to the original self, pure consciousness that makes no division, makes no distinction of others. It is the pure self. Rest here. Om. Bring your awareness back to the surface, and the body and the breath. Deepen the breath to assist the body to wake up. Bring some movement. You stretch out and up to let the body completely awaken. Holding close that place where we're all united, we're all one. Hold it close as you roll to the side and push up to seated. Find that sturdy, supported seat. If you've found your seat, just tune into the breath, the flow, the quality, the temperature. Do one extended round of Kapalabhati. At any point, if you're feeling dizzy or lightheaded, you can slow down the pace or completely stop and breathe naturally. First, make sure that you're connected and sturdy in your foundation. Lengthen through the spine. And bring your awareness into the abdomen. This is where the breathing is coming from. Let's everyone exhale, drawing the abdomen in. Inhale slightly and begin. Continue at your own pace. Keep the jaw and the shoulders and the throat soft. 20 more seconds. And exhale all the way out. Inhale all the way in from the bottom of the seat to the top of the throat. When you're ready to exhale, exhale slowly and evenly as possible. The end of the exhale, observe the breath return to balance on its own without your control. Moving to Nadi Shuddhi. Nerve purification, you may start on your own. We have a full minute in Nadi Shuddhi. Balancing the right and the left hemispheres of the brain. Allowing the mind to center and focus. Preparing ourselves for meditation. The next time you exhale through the right nostril, place the hands on the lap. Breathe naturally. We'll do one Om leading into meditation, finding a focal point to anchor you from your thoughts and embody stillness. Inhale. Om. Om. Closing slokas in Sanskrit. Hasatoma satkamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma vritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you very much,